There are things in your house right now that are silently destroying your life. You don't see them, you don't feel them, but they're there, blocking your fortune, draining your health, and tearing apart the harmony you thought you had. This is not a metaphor, this is not superstition. This is a hidden energy war, and your home is the battlefield. You think you're just tired because of work. That money slips away because of bad timing. That tension in your family. Maybe it's just stress. But what if the real reason is a cracked mirror in your hallway, a dead plant on your windowsill, an expired bottle of medicine sitting quietly in your cabinet, poisoning the energy of your space every single day? Today's video is not for decoration. It is a warning. There are 7 deceptively common objects, things you've walked past 100 times, that have the power to reshape your destiny in all the wrong ways. If you're living with even one of them, you're already paying the price. Through broken sleep, blocked finances, lost opportunities, or unexplained sadness that clings like dust on forgotten shelves. This is not about fear, it's about awareness. Because when energy breaks, life breaks. And the first step to healing is seeing what you've ignored for too long. So before you burn out, before you accept chaos as normal, take a look around your home. What have you been keeping that's been quietly keeping you stuck? Let's begin before it gets worse. Number 1. Cracked mirrors distorting the path ahead. A cracked mirror is never just a cracked mirror. It is an energetic wound in your home, a break in reflection, clarity, and spiritual alignment. And yet, most people ignore it. They leave it hanging because it's still usable. But energy doesn't care about function. It responds to form. And when form is broken, energy begins to twist. Have you been feeling confused lately? Emotionally scattered? Stuck in repeating patterns where no matter what you try, nothing seems to move forward? If there's a cracked or chipped mirror in your home, especially in a place where light flows, like the hallway, the bedroom, or near the front entrance, that small fracture may be silently redirecting your entire life off course. In Feng Shui, mirrors are more than decorative. They are energetic gateways. They absorb, reflect, amplify. They are the eyes of the home, and when the eyes are broken, the soul of the house sees only fragments. Imagine trying to navigate your life through a broken lens. That is exactly what happens when a cracked mirror remains in your space. It fractures light, which is another word for qi, the life force that moves through your home, through your body, through your decisions. A distorted mirror creates a distorted field. What you see each day, your reflection, your space, your intentions, becomes subtly altered. You begin to lose your clarity. You forget what you were aiming for. You doubt your path. This is not imagination. It's energetic architecture. Energy follows image. And when the image is broken, the energy becomes scattered, erratic, unstable. This can manifest in your external life as chaos, projects that never complete, goals that shift halfway, money that disappears without cause, relationships that keep repeating the same arguments, sleep that never feels restful. And deeper still, it affects your inner vision. The mirror, after all, is where you see yourself. When your reflection is cracked, your identity becomes uncertain. Your confidence quietly erodes. You stop seeing yourself as whole. This is especially dangerous when cracked mirrors are placed in the bedroom. The bedroom is where your body repairs, your mind resets, your energy softens. A broken mirror here sends your subconscious the message: I am fragmented. You may begin to dream anxiously, wake up exhausted, or feel emotionally disconnected from your partner, even if nothing obvious has changed. Some people report feeling haunted in their sleep, experiencing vivid nightmares, or a lingering sense of being watched. From an energy perspective, a cracked mirror becomes a trap for wandering Kai. It no longer simply reflects, It begins to hold broken vibrations, amplifying them through the night. In households where family members often argue, or where children seem especially restless and emotionally sensitive, check for broken mirrors. You might be shocked to find one tucked behind a door, resting on the floor, or forgotten in a corner, still quietly leaking unstable energy into the room. Even a hairline crack matters. You may think it's barely visible, no one will notice. But qi is more sensitive than the eye. The energy notices, the spirit notices, your future notices. So what should you do? You do not keep a broken mirror in your home, no matter how expensive, sentimental, or convenient. The cost of keeping it is never worth the consequence. If it's cracked, chipped, or damaged in any way, it's no longer a mirror. It's a symbol of energetic rupture. Here's what you can do to release it properly. Choose a quiet day. Wrap the mirror in black cloth or thick newspaper. As you do, thank it. Yes, thank it. Not because it's been good, but because gratitude is the energy that seals energetic contracts. Say silently or aloud, "Thank you for your service. I now release you so that both you and I can return to clarity." Dispose of the mirror respectfully. Do not smash it further. Do not leave it in the house, even covered. The energetic break must be removed completely or the echo continues. Afterward, open the window, let new light enter. Clean the area where the mirror hung. Consider placing a living plant there temporarily, a symbol of renewal, of growing forward. And here is something most people never realize. You don't always need to replace a mirror. Often, the space needs emptiness more than reflection. Sometimes, what the room really needs is rest. A chance to reset its own energy without amplification. But if you do choose to bring in a new mirror, be intentional. Choose one that is whole, bright, and clean. Place it with awareness. Ask yourself, what part of my life do I want this mirror to reflect? And more importantly, what energy am I ready to see clearly again? Because the mirror in the end does not lie. It reflects back what you allow to remain in your life. Broken mirror, broken patterns. Clear mirror, clear path. So look again. Is there a fracture on your wall or a fracture in your fortune? Either way, now is the time to mend it. Number 2, dead clocks, the time loop you didn't notice. Time doesn't stop, but energy does when your clocks do. Somewhere in your home right now, there may be a wall clock that no longer ticks, a little desk clock frozen on the wrong hour, or a forgotten alarm buried in a drawer. It's easy to overlook. It's just a dead battery, right? Nothing urgent. But energy doesn't wait for batteries. It listens to symbols. And a stopped clock is one of the most dangerous symbols you can keep in your living space. Have you noticed lately that things aren't moving in your life? That projects keep getting delayed, that your motivation keeps collapsing midway, that decisions feel blurry, as if time is passing but nothing is really progressing. It might not be your effort. It might be the silent message hanging on your wall. Nothing moves here anymore. In Feng Shui, time is not just a measurement, it's a living rhythm. Clocks represent motion, momentum, and forward energy. They connect your home to the flow of life itself. Every tick is a pulse of possibility. Every second passed is an energetic step forward. When a clock dies, that pulse goes flat. The message changes. Instead of forward movement, it begins to radiate stagnation. Delay, lethargy, it becomes a magnet for all things unfinished. This is especially harmful in specific rooms. A dead clock in the living room, the public face of your home, dulls your outer energy. It can make your social life dry up, your charisma fade, your presence feel off without knowing why. A dead clock in your home office can quietly sabotage your career. You may start your work with focus, but soon feel foggy, restless, or oddly behind, no matter how early you begin. It's like your intentions start strong, but never cross the finish line. And perhaps most dangerously, a dead clock in the bedroom interferes with your emotional and energetic rest. Time, when healthy, flows gently through your sleep. But a frozen clock freezes more than hours. It freezes healing. You wake up tired, mentally slow, emotionally flat, and you think it's age or stress or just bad sleep. But no, it's the energy of pause repeating itself night after night. The danger of a dead clock is that its energy is subtle. You rarely notice its presence. But that's exactly how energy works, not loudly but deeply. And when pause becomes the dominant signal in your home, your entire life begins to feel stuck. Even worse, dead clocks can become loops. They trap your energy in a moment that no longer exists. If the clock died during a particularly hard time in your life, a breakup, illness, financial stress, its energy becomes frozen at that emotional temperature. You may unconsciously relive the patterns, the mood, the mental heaviness of that time without even realizing the source. Some people say it's just decorative, but in Feng Shui, nothing is ever just decorative. Every object holds vibration. A dead clock vibrates with stillness, loss, and inertia. And no matter how beautiful the frame, the message it sends is always the same. Nothing moves here anymore. And when you live inside that message long enough, you begin to believe it. You stop reaching out. You delay your dreams. You shrink. But there is good news. Time can be restarted, both on your wall and in your soul. So here's what to do. First, walk through your home, slowly, room by room. Look at every clock, not just the ones you use, but the ones you've forgotten. Be honest, is it ticking? Is it alive? If yes, clean it, reset the time, make it accurate. A clean, working clock reinforces clarity, focus, and life alignment. But if it's not ticking, don't just replace the battery blindly. Ask yourself, do I even want this clock anymore? Does it carry an old story I've outgrown? Is this a rhythm I want to bring back? If the answer is no, let it go. Wrap the clock gently, don't toss it casually into the trash. Just like a cracked mirror, a dead clock holds the story of time paused. Releasing it must be intentional. You can say, "Thank you for keeping time while you could. I now release you so I can move forward again." If the clock is precious or antique, you may choose to repair it, but only if you're ready to reclaim the energy it represents. Don't bring a dead object back to life unless you're ready to walk through the door it opens. And finally, notice what shifts after it's gone. Most people report a sudden lightness, a subtle return of flow. Ideas begin to arrive again. Conversations feel more alive. Movement returns, not just in your home, but in your heart. Because when the clock ticks again, so does your momentum. And if you've been wondering why things feel delayed, blocked, or like you're always waiting for the right time to begin something, ask yourself this: what is the oldest clock in my home trying to say? Is it reflecting time or holding me in a time that no longer serves me? And then remember, you don't live in the past. You live in motion, in presence, in possibility. So let your home reflect that truth, tick by living tick. Number 3, torn wallets, the leaking vault of your fortune. You hold it every day, but you never really look at it. Your wallet is more than a container for money. It is a mirror of how you receive, carry, and relate to abundance. And yet, for many people, the wallet is the most neglected item in their daily life. Stuffed, torn, worn thin at the edges, peeling, dusty, tired. Just like their relationship with wealth. If your wallet is damaged, your wealth energy is leaking, whether you believe in Feng Shui or not. Energy doesn't require belief. It flows or it doesn't. And a torn wallet is like a bucket with a hole. No matter how much you pour in, it slips through. You work harder, you save more, you try to budget. But the money comes and goes, always just enough to survive, never enough to breathe. In applied energy work, your wallet is your personal treasury. Not just a tool, but a symbol. A spiritual contract between you and the flow of prosperity. When it's whole, respected, cared for, it invites more. But when it's frayed, forgotten, or misused, it says to the universe, I don't value what I receive. And the universe, in its quiet logic, simply stops sending. This isn't about materialism. It's about energetic integrity. Just as you wouldn't keep your rice in a torn sack or your jewelry in a cracked box, your money, your life force in physical form, deserves a container that honors it. Think about how often you reach for your wallet. Every transaction, every bill paid, every coffee bought, it becomes a moment of energetic exchange. And every time your fingers touch a broken seam or peeling edge, that brokenness is reinforced. Your subconscious absorbs it. It says this is what wealth feels like, fragile, torn, temporary. And that message shapes your reality. People who carry damaged wallets often find themselves trapped in cycles of financial anxiety. They may fear looking at their balance. They delay checking bank statements. They hoard receipts or let coins pile up in chaotic ways. This is not just disorganization, it's a symptom of an energetic wound. And here's the part many overlook. Your wallet is not just carrying money, it's carrying memory. If you've used it through years of struggle, through seasons of fear or scarcity, that vibration lingers in the fabric, in the leather, in the stitching. Every scrape on the surface echoes a moment when you worried, hesitated, or sacrificed. And without a conscious break, you keep carrying that story. That's why even expensive wallets can hold poverty energy if they're filled with emotional residue. And why even a simple, humble new wallet can begin attracting fortune if it's chosen with clarity, intention, and respect. So what can you do right now to shift this? Start by examining your current wallet, not just physically, but energetically. Ask yourself, does this object represent who I am now? Or does it belong to a version of me that no longer exists? Look at its condition, its weight, its smell, its texture. Feel what rises in you. Is it shame? Is it heaviness? Is it pride, recognition, nostalgia? Then if your wallet is damaged, ripped, stained, weakened, it's time to let it go. Not in anger, not in haste, but in reverence. You can say, thank you for carrying me this far. I release you so I may carry something new, something worthy of where I'm going. When you choose a new wallet, choose it as if you are choosing a new home for your wealth. It does not need to be expensive. It must feel aligned. Choose a color that supports your personal energy. Earthy tones for grounding, green for growth, red for expansion, black for protection, white or gold for clarity and flow. Feel the texture in your hand. Feel the shape. Ask yourself, can I trust this object to hold what matters to me? And then cleanse it. Before you put anything inside, bless it. Leave it in the sunlight for an hour, or place it near incense or a singing bowl. Set an intention. Let this be a vessel for right flow. Let this be a gate for what nourishes me. As you move forward, keep your wallet organized. Remove old receipts, expired cards, unnecessary clutter. Don't overstuff it. Allow it to breathe. Allow space for newness, and most importantly, touch it with respect. Every time you open it, do so mindfully, with gratitude, with awareness. Because every time you open your wallet, you're not just spending money, you're sending a message. And that message, over time, becomes your frequency. So ask yourself, what energy does your wallet carry today? And more importantly, what kind of wealth are you truly ready to hold? Number 4, expired medicines and cosmetics, the cabinet of dead energy. There is a quiet graveyard in your home, and you open it more often than you realize. It hides behind the bathroom mirror, in the bottom drawer of your vanity, or at the back of the shelf where old bottles gather dust. Inside it, expired medicine, half-used creams, dried-out lipsticks, faded eye drops, pills with labels long unreadable. And while these items seem harmless, even invisible in your daily routine, they are silently poisoning your energy field, your health vibration, and your ability to move forward. You see, every item in your home holds a frequency. It radiates a certain energetic tone, whether you're aware of it or not. And nothing carries vibration more powerfully than objects meant for the body. Medicine and cosmetics are deeply personal. They were designed to heal, to protect, to enhance. But once they expire, their energy becomes distorted. From nourishment, they turn into stagnation. From healing into resistance. Think about it. What is an expired medicine if not a broken promise? A hope that is soured. A cure that can no longer help. And yet, so many people keep these bottles just in case, without realizing that they are building a shrine to outdated pain. Every time you open that cabinet, even if you don't touch those items, their energy breathes into the air. You may not see it, but your body feels it. Your decisions cloud. Your clarity dims, your sleep grows restless. The healing you crave always seems just out of reach. The same is true for expired or unused cosmetics. That old foundation, that crusted mascara, that perfume from a version of yourself you no longer relate to, they don't just take space, they hold memory. You bought them with an intention, maybe to feel beautiful, to feel confident, to cover something, to shine something, to fix something. But now, they are echoes, and those echoes pull you backward into a vibration you've already outgrown. Stagnant objects create stagnant energy, and when that energy surrounds the body, it reflects in your life. You may notice health issues that don't fully resolve, skin problems that flare unexpectedly, mood swings, mental fog, or a general sense of being stuck in recovery, no matter how many efforts you make. This is not about superstition. This is about energetic hygiene. The same way you wouldn't drink expired milk or use rotten vegetables, you shouldn't keep dead items in the space meant for your healing and self-care. Because energy, like breath, must be fresh to nourish. So how do you begin to shift this? You don't just throw things away, you release them. You create a ritual, because the body understands ritual more deeply than it understands logic. Choose a quiet morning. One where the light feels gentle, not rushed. Open your bathroom cabinet or drawer. One by one, pick up each item, hold it in your hand. Feel the story. Where were you in life when you bought this? What part of yourself were you trying to heal or highlight? Thank it silently. You've served your purpose, I honor that, and now I let you go. Separate what is still useful, truly useful, from what is expired, empty, toxic, or simply no longer aligns. Be honest, do not keep something because of guilt. Guilt is not a healing frequency. Letting go is not waste, it is wisdom. Wrap the discarded items in newspaper or cloth. Don't just toss them into the trash in frustration. Bless them as you release them. You are not removing clutter. You are unblocking your healing path. Once the space is clear, clean the cabinet. Wipe it not just with a cloth, but with intention. Light a stick of incense if you wish. Let the smoke carry away what was once stagnant. You'll feel the shift immediately. The space will feel fresher. Your own skin may even feel lighter. And then, be mindful of what you bring back in. Let every new bottle, every cream, every medicine be chosen not out of fear, but out of care. Not to fix what's broken, but to honor what is already whole. Because when your healing space is clear, your energy becomes clear. And when your energy is clear, the body responds. The heart opens. Life moves. So ask yourself today, what is still sitting in my cabinet that I no longer need but haven't had the courage to release? Because clearing space for healing isn't just about throwing things away. It's about making room for new life to enter. And it starts with one small bottle. Number 5, unblessed Buddha statues, sacred energy misplaced. Not every calm face brings peace. In many homes, Buddha statues sit quietly on shelves, in entryways, next to televisions, or even beside bathroom counters. They're beautiful, serene, symbolic. People buy them for luck, for beauty, or simply because someone said it brings positive energy. But behind the peaceful gaze of a Buddha statue lies a truth most people don't want to hear. When placed without respect, without understanding, and without intention, sacred symbols become sources of deep imbalance. A Buddha is not decoration. It is not a good luck charm. It is a vessel of sacred frequency, of presence, of stillness, of truth. And when that frequency is brought into a home carelessly, purchased at a discount shop, gifted without meaning, inherited without knowing its origin, it becomes a spiritual mismatch. A disruption. What was once meant to bless now becomes a weight. Have you ever felt strange tension in your home that doesn't make sense? Like arguments erupt more easily. Like your meditation space no longer feels safe. Like your mind won't settle, even when you try to pray or rest. If a Buddha statue in your home was brought in without awareness, or if it sits gathering dust in a cluttered corner, you may be experiencing the quiet ripple of sacred energy left unanchored. In traditional teachings, before a Buddha statue is brought into a home, it must be chosen with care, blessed with reverence, and placed with intention. It is not something to collect. It is something to welcome. Just as you wouldn't invite a wise teacher into your home and then ignore them, you don't invite a symbol of awakening and place it next to distraction. Many people place Buddha statues on the floor, near electronic devices, inside closets, or even in bathrooms, places of noise, waste, or energetic chaos. And they wonder why, instead of calm, their home begins to feel unsettled. Because sacred energy, when dishonored, does not punish, but it also cannot support. It simply becomes static, heavy, confused, ungrounded. And that confusion radiates outward, affecting sleep, relationships, and spiritual clarity. There's also the deeper problem of unknown origin. If you've acquired a Buddha statue secondhand, from a market, an online listing, or a gift, you do not know what energy it carries. Was it made with devotion or mass-produced without meaning? Was it once in a temple or taken from one without permission? Was it blessed? Was it misused? Energy imprints last, especially in spiritual objects. If a statue has absorbed trauma, conflict, or neglect from its past environments, that vibration can enter your space the moment it crosses your threshold. So what can you do if you already have such a statue in your home? First, pause, stand before it. Look at it not as a thing, but as a presence. Ask yourself, do I truly understand who this is? Do I feel a connection or just obligation? If the answer is uncertainty or even discomfort, that is a signal. It does not mean you've done wrong. It means the energy is misaligned. Do not leave the statue to collect dust. Do not hide it in a drawer. That is not neutrality, it is neglect. Instead, seek guidance. Speak with a monk, a spiritual teacher, or someone grounded in Buddhist or ancestral wisdom. Ask if the statue should be cleansed, relocated, or returned. In many cases, the most honorable path is to return it to a temple. There, it can be placed in an environment that matches its energy. Because a sacred object without sacred space becomes an orphaned soul, drifting, disconnected, silently dimming the light of your home. And if you feel a true connection, if your heart calls to keep it, then renew that relationship. Clean the space around it. Offer light, incense, or even a flower. Place it above eye level in a clean, calm area where it will not be disturbed. Speak to it not with superstition but with sincerity. A simple message. You are welcome here. I honor what you represent. In doing this, you shift the energy. The statue becomes a blessing again, a reminder of wisdom, stillness, and the path home to self. Because energy honors clarity, and sacredness, when truly invited, transforms everything. So ask yourself today, is there a sacred object in my home that I've forgotten how to respect? Because peace cannot enter a house where reverence has been replaced with routine. And the Buddha, above all, asks not for worship, but for awareness. Number 6, old clothes, threads of the past that still hold you. Every piece of clothing you've worn carries your energy. Not just the scent of your body or the outline of your shape, but the mood, the emotion, the silent memory of the day you wore it. The dress you cried in, the sweater you reached for during your loneliest nights, the shirt you wore to a job you hated. And yet these garments stay, folded in drawers, hung in closets, buried in forgotten bags, like quiet witnesses to versions of you that no longer exist. We keep clothes for all the wrong reasons. I might wear it again someday. It was expensive. I used to love this. But rarely do we ask, does this still reflect who I am now? Or does it pull me back into something I've already outgrown? In Feng Shui and energy medicine, clothing is not just fabric. It is memory woven into form. It touches the skin, wraps the body, absorbs the sweat, the breath, the tears, the joy. And when left unused, unloved, or forgotten, old clothes become emotional residue. Not in your heart, but in your space. Have you ever opened your wardrobe and suddenly felt tired, anxious, or overwhelmed for no clear reason? That's not just clutter, it's energetic congestion. Clothes stuffed in too tightly, mixed without care, layered with old moods, past versions, unhealed stories. The energy in that closet is not neutral. It is active, and it is pulling on you. Even worse when we keep clothes from difficult seasons. Hospital stays, heartbreaks, depression, grief. We create energy anchors. These items don't just remember your pain. They continue to vibrate at the frequency of that pain. Every time you pass by them, you pass through that energy. And over time, it wears you down. Many homes have bags of old clothes stored under beds, behind doors, or in damp corners, forgotten but not harmless. These are not just physical piles. They are energetic blockages. They block the flow of qi, the life force that moves through your home. They trap light. They hold moisture. They breed heaviness. And that heaviness seeps into your day. You may feel unmotivated to get dressed, indecisive, insecure. You try on clothes, but nothing feels quite right, not because of size, but because of energy. You are dressing yourself in ghosts, and ghosts never fit well. So how do you free yourself from this quiet web of memory and cloth? Start with intention, not judgment. You are not cleaning your closet. You are releasing the past. Set aside a day when you feel emotionally steady. Open the wardrobe, let light in. One by one, take each item into your hands. Don't rush, don't decide quickly. Ask, when did I last wear this? How did I feel in it? Who was I then? Do I want to keep living with that version of me? If the answer brings heaviness, hesitation, or a sharp memory that stings, it's time to let that piece go. Thank it, truly. Even if it brought pain, it witnessed your growth. Say, thank you for carrying me through that chapter. I release you now so both of us can breathe again. Donate what is clean, whole, and could serve someone else. This is not just generosity, it is energetic karma. Let your healing create someone else's blessing. If something is too damaged or personal to pass on, wrap it gently and discard it with respect. Don't throw it in anger. Don't hide it in a garbage bag with shame. Release it with clarity. Once done, cleanse the space. Wipe the surfaces, burn a little incense, or place a living plant near the area. Then stand before your wardrobe again. Feel the difference. It will breathe, it will shine, and so will you. Going forward, be mindful of what you allow in. Choose clothes that match not just your size, but your spirit. Wear what uplifts, keep what strengthens. Let go of anything that speaks the language of the old you. Because your clothes are not just what you wear, they are how you carry your story, and you deserve to walk into the future free from the weight of unspoken yesterdays. So ask yourself, is my wardrobe a sanctuary for the woman I'm becoming, or a storage unit for the sadness I never said goodbye to? Only you can answer. But the freedom you'll feel after letting go, that answer lives in your body, not your mind. Number 7. Dead plants and dried flowers, beauty that became decay. Not all beauty is blessing. In many homes, you'll find dried bouquets, wilted orchids, sunburnt succulents, or plants whose soil has gone hard with thirst. They were once full of life, once carefully chosen, once gifted with love, but now they sit in corners by windows on altars, frozen in time, lifeless and heavy. And though they don't move, they speak. Not with color or bloom, but with the silent frequency of decay. In Feng Shui, plants are not decoration. They are life vessels, embodiments of movement, breath, and growth. Their leaves capture light. Their roots drink deep. Their bodies respond to energy just like ours. But when they die, when they begin to brown, droop, dry, or rot, their energy does not just disappear, it reverses. What once nourished your space begins to drain it. A dead plant is not neutral. It's a magnet for stagnation. Especially when left for too long, it becomes a silent anchor for grief, loss, and emotional weight. And the longer it stays, the more it invites low, dense energy, known as yin imbalance, into the places where you need lightness most. Have you ever noticed how your mood shifts in a room with fading plants? How conversations feel heavier? How decisions seem harder to make? That's not your imagination, it's energy. Because even though the plant has died, its energy field lingers and it speaks the language of endings. The same is true for dried flowers. Yes, they may look elegant, sentimental, romantic even. But beneath the surface, they carry a frequency of stillness that has passed the point of peace. What once bloomed now whispers goodbye. And when we keep those whispers too close, too long, our own energy begins to mimic them. We feel tired, stuck, nostalgic in a way that hurts. Our homes begin to feel like museums of who we used to be, not sanctuaries for who we are becoming. Some people say, but it's beautiful. Yes, it was and still is in a way. But there is a difference between honoring beauty and holding onto death, between remembering a season and refusing to let it end. When dead plants or dried flowers remain in your space, especially in sacred areas like your bedroom, your altar, your work corner, or your front entrance, they distort the flow of Kai. They absorb instead of radiate. They close rather than open. They become energetic no's in places where you need yes. And over time, that refusal begins to show up in your life. Opportunities stall. Emotional openness closes. Vitality drops. Luck weakens. Even sleep and skin health can be affected, especially if the plants are near your bed or where you meditate. So what do? You release with reverence. You don't yank a dead plant from the pot like trash. You say goodbye, you honor it for what it gave. Thank you for your beauty, thank you for your time, I now let you return to the earth. If it's fully dead, remove it gently. If some part still holds life, try repotting, trimming, or changing its soil. But be honest. Don't rescue out of guilt. Rescue out of real intent. And if it's time to let go, let that goodbye be clean. Once removed, clean the space. Let light in. Smudge with smoke or open the window. Place something fresh or leave it empty for a while. Let your space breathe in life again. If you love plants, grow ones you can care for. Ones that match your energy and capacity. Choose living things that you're ready to nurture, not just display. Because the truth is, your space becomes what you tolerate. And if you tolerate quiet decay, decay begins to shape you. So today, ask yourself, what in my home looks alive but is actually whispering, I've already ended? That's where the shift begins. Because life will always find its way in again, but only if you make room for it. Final, not all beauty is blessing. In many homes, you'll find dried bouquets, wilted orchids, sunburnt succulents, or plants whose soil has gone hard with thirst. They were once full of life, once carefully chosen, once gifted with love. But now, they sit in corners by windows on altars, frozen in time, lifeless and heavy. And though they don't move, they speak, not with color or bloom, but with the silent frequency of decay. In Feng Shui, plants are not decoration. They are life vessels, embodiments of movement, breath, and growth. Their leaves capture light. Their roots drink deep. Their bodies respond to energy just like ours. But when they die, when they begin to brown, droop, dry, or rot, their energy does not just disappear, it reverses. What once nourished your space begins to drain it. A dead plant is not neutral. It's a magnet for stagnation. Especially when left for too long, it becomes a silent anchor for grief, loss, and emotional weight. And the longer it stays, the more it invites low, dense energy, known as yin imbalance, into the places where you need lightness most. Have you ever noticed how your mood shifts in a room with fading plants? How conversations feel heavier? How decisions seem harder to make? That's not your imagination, it's energy. Because even though the plant has died, its energy field lingers and it speaks the language of endings. The same is true for dried flowers. Yes, they may look elegant, sentimental, romantic even. But beneath the surface, they carry a frequency of stillness that has passed the point of peace. What once bloomed now whispers goodbye. And when we keep those whispers too close, too long, our own energy begins to mimic them. We feel tired, stuck, nostalgic in a way that hurts. Our homes begin to feel like museums of who we used to be, not sanctuaries for who we are becoming. Some people say, but it's beautiful. Yes, it was and still is in a way. But there is a difference between honoring beauty and holding onto death, between remembering a season and refusing to let it end. When dead plants or dried flowers remain in your space, especially in sacred areas like your bedroom, your altar, your work corner, or your front entrance, they distort the flow of Kai. They absorb instead of radiate. They close rather than open. They become energetic no's in places where you need yes. And over time, that refusal begins to show up in your life. Opportunities stall. Emotional openness closes. Vitality drops. Luck weakens. Even sleep and skin health can be affected, especially if the plants are near your bed or where you meditate. So what do? You release with reverence. You don't yank a dead plant from the pot like trash. You say goodbye, you honor it for what it gave. Thank you for your beauty, thank you for your time, I now let you return to the earth. If it's fully dead, remove it gently. If some part still holds life, try repotting, trimming, or changing its soil. But be honest. Don't rescue out of guilt. Rescue out of real intent. And if it's time to let go, let that goodbye be clean. Once removed, clean the space. Let light in. Smudge with smoke or open the window. Place something fresh or leave it empty for a while. Let your space breathe in life again. If you love plants, grow ones you can care for. Ones that match your energy and capacity. Choose living things that you're ready to nurture, not just display. Because the truth is, your space becomes what you tolerate. And if you tolerate quiet decay, decay begins to shape you. So today, ask yourself, what in my home looks alive but is actually whispering, "I've already ended"? That's where the shift begins. Because life will always find its way in again, but only if you make room for it.